Spine flexion, PAILS, and rails, and we're going to do this in the quadruped position. Most likely we're starting with this because it is the simplest way to teach how to do a PAIL and rail with your spine and how to expand that range of motion. We'll go over the different intricacies as we go through this, but our main goal here is we've identified that we cannot get the spine up as high as we can. So that means we need to work on getting into that end range position and learning how to contract your spine in that end range position. So very simply, what we're going to do to start this motion is we're going to slowly get up as high as we possibly can into spine flexion. So I'm going to find my end range. Yours might be down here. It might only be here. That's okay. Whatever it is at, without pain, big keyword, without pain, we get up into it. So I'm holding this position as high as I possibly can for 2 minutes at least. Okay, 2-minute stretch here. I'm trying to think about, keeping the spine upward, pelvis tucking underneath. I'm not actively contracting where I'm not pushing hard, but I do have to have some sort of tension in my body to ensure that nothing is going to move as I'm holding this stretch. We're going to do 2 contractions from this position, a PAILS contraction and a rails contraction. Your PAILS contraction is going to be contracting everything up top here on the back side of your spine that is currently lengthened. So I'm going to think in my head, contract my spine, and I'm also going to think, push my hands and knees away from each other. And when that happens, when I do that, we should get some initiation of contraction more here. So that's how I want you to think about it for the PAILS contraction. Push hands and knees away from each other and drive the spine up towards the ceiling. After a 10-second ramp up, so we start at 10% tension, we start very light, we work up to a 10-second max effort rep. So I'm going to push as hard as I can for a PAILS here. 10, 9, 8, all the way down to 1. As soon as I get 10 seconds of a max effort PAILS, I'm then going to switch. I'm going to pull my hands and knees together. I'm going to squeeze my abs and everything on this side of my body now and try to pull as best as possible to perform a rails contraction. So PAILS is push hands, knees away. Rails is pull hands, knees together. The entire goal is, can both those contractions get more rounding out of my spine? So after a rep, let's say I do a 10-second ramp up to a PAILS. I do a 10-second max effort PAILS. I then switch and I pull my hands and knees together for a 10-second rails here. After that, hopefully I maybe get a little bit higher up into flexion. So I've gone to my end range, contracted backside, contracted front side. Once you're done with that, you hold for about 30 seconds here. And if it says 2 reps, you do 1 more. If it says 1, you've done, that's all you need to do. You get out of the position, you come down, you slowly try to segment out of it. Just try to work out some of that range. Try to move as slowly as possible to get as far down and to work out some of that tension you just created. The key here is we're getting to our end range of motion and we're learning how to contract on this side, and really going hard into it to make sure that next time I go back there again, my body gives me a little more range of motion because it knows I'm strong there, and that gives me permission to be able to function there.